This time we will be led in meditation by Cheryl.
Good morning, and if anyone is new today, we are just going to take a few minutes just to come into our center, that spirit that is eternally us. So you may want to just gently close your eyes. And as you feel this peace washing down over the body, just begin to relax. Relax all the muscles around the eyes, cheeks, head. And as you take a deep breath, release the shoulders, just let them go. And feel the torso just relaxed on the chair as this washes down over the legs and out through the feet. And just take another really deep breath and just let it all go. Let all the tension of the week just drain out. And begin to focus on that single eye, the space in the forehead, where we come into inner peace. And as we just breathe deeply, when we let it out, we let our shoulders go again. Let the eyelids go. And focus on that third eye, the inner peace. And as we do there, we focus, we begin to see a dark, starry night. The stars are twinkling intensely, beautifully. And we know that we are made up of the same substance as the stars in the heavens. And we begin to feel that internal peace. The spirit, the great home of which we are a part. And here, as we feel this inner peace, we begin to surrender. To surrender the spirit in us to the great spirit. We are one. One with the great spirit. And now, as we know that, we're going to just take a moment, surrender all cares, concerns to our inner spirit. now we take a moment to visualize what we want, the good to come into our lives. So let's visualize that right now. And so, as we begin to come back into this time and place, our hearts overflow with gratitude, for at this moment we have all that we need, and all that we want is seeking us. Thank you. Thank you, Mother, Father, God, the Great Spirit, as we know we are one with you. And so as we go forth this week, we know we can come here at any time, anytime. So now we begin to feel our body, feel the beauty of this place, and come back to the here and now. And so it is.
Please stand and let us read together our mission and vision statement along with the Declaration of Principles. Please stand and let us read together our vision and mission statement along with the Declaration of Principles. As we say together, CSL West Georgia is a joyful global community where everyone belongs. Through our unique spiritual teachings, we provide a safe environment to experience compassionate living. Our Declaration of Principle. I believe there is one creative intelligence operating throughout the universe. I believe my purpose is to allow this divine mind to express in, as, and through me. I know that this divine presence is a power for good, which responds to my conscious use to create a life filled with health, love, peace, and success in all things. I use it now, and I rejoice in it, and so it is.
All right, please remain standing, and we're going to do our opening congregational.
Camera.
All right. So wake everybody up. Woo! We're glad you're here. Welcome, everyone. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm at the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, is welcome here. All right. I'm in the right place, but that's the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting a message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting a message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. All right now. I'm gonna have a little Your soul is welcome here. Your soul is welcome here. Your soul is welcome here. Oh, yeah. Your soul is welcome here. 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 Good morning.
Now we'll have a reading by Gloria Reed.
All right, this reading comes from Turn on the Light, The Timeless Wisdom of Eric Butterworth. And this is titled, Your Fortune Begins with You. It is an important moment in your life when you discover for yourself the great truth that things may happen around you and things may happen to you. But the only things that really count are the things that happen in you. You may have precious little control of the elements or the fluctuation of the stock market or the unpredictable behavior of people. However, you live in a world of your consciousness, which is the sum total of the thoughts in your mind, and you can control what goes on in your mind. This is not to say that it is easy, but to establish that it is possible. Your negative thoughts of fear and worry are depleting your good faster than inflation erodes the value of the dollar. There's a great idea that you will encounter again and again on your quest. You are a living magnet, constantly drawing to you the things, the people, the circumstances that are in accord with your thoughts. Failure or lack in your life is simply the result of continuously minusing yourself. Conversely, success and prosperity are the results of constantly plussing yourself. It is wise to take inventory occasionally. Are you dealing in the minuses or the pluses? It is that simple. Your negative thoughts of fear and worry are depleting your good faster than inflation erodes the value of the dollar. And your positive, optimistic thoughts add to your good more dramatically than compound interest increases your bank savings. One of the most self-limiting attitudes of the human race is the belief in chance or luck. Occasionally it is said, I've been lucky, my prayers was answered. However, God doesn't deal in luck. It is a self-delusive trap. For in an orderly universe, there is simply no way in which one can get something for nothing. Under divine law, you receive as you have given, no more and no less. If you feel you have been down on your luck, don't succumb to the temptation to try to make it big in some game of chance. Your fortune begins with you, not with the roll of the dice or the winning number or with any kind of lucky break. There is only one way in which you can change your luck, and that is by altering your thoughts. You are God's living enterprise, and your good fortune is secure because it is God's good pleasure to give it to you.
Connie and I have a song for you this morning by J.B. Martin and Jim Garrett. It's called I'll Meet You There. Or here, or there, somewhere. We're gonna meet you somewhere. There's a place I often go where I find peace and ease my soul. Come on, everybody, I'll meet you there. I think it's right here. It's a place that clears my mind. It's so close, it's not hard to find. So come on, everybody, I'll meet you there. Well, I'll meet you in the morning. Oh, baby, make up the same old story and start all over again. I'll meet you there. Oh, yeah. I'll meet you there. Let's go run away. It's a feeling I can't describe. Yeah. A destination that you'll realize. Come on, everybody, I'll meet you there. It's the gift we resist most. That's how we know it's the place to go. Come on, everybody, I'll meet you there. Well, I'll meet you in the morning before the world begins. Give up that same old story and start all over again. I'll meet you there. I'll meet you there. Sing it with us. I'll meet you there. I'll meet you there. Oh, yeah. I'll meet you there. Come and go with me. I'll meet you there. I'll meet you there. Let's take this party to the street. Woo! Shake it up and move our feet. Come on, everybody. I'll meet you there. I'll meet you in the morning before the world begins. Give up that same old story and start all over again. I'll meet you there. I'll meet you here. I'll meet you here. I'll meet you here. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for your help. All right. Miss Deborah, let's hear it for you.
service. Thank you for that. Okay. RevBronte is our guest speaker today, and we are so delighted to have her in our presence again. And it is indeed a blessing every time she approaches the podium. So without further ado, RevBronte.
And good morning. We do have some extra booklets from Turn on the Light by Unity Publications, Blessed Wisdom, Timeless Wisdom of Eric Butterworth. So there's some on the table there if you would like to get one, and I'll try to remember to bring some extra ones next time. It's been a month since we were here doing that amazing baby blessing for baby. I had to go to I live in Athens, and I went to a prayer gathering right after I got into Athens. I was so busy opening my phone and showing pictures of the baby to people. I think his people spirit just lifted everybody up at the prayer gathering too. So today, let's talk about a few things. 1, 2 things, maybe 3 things that are simple but powerful spiritual practices. Who can use a spiritual practice now and then? Okay, sometimes we gotta practice their spiritual practices. Spiritual practices we can turn to when things seem tough or challenging. Not that any of us have anything tough or challenging going on in our world, okay? But there's more. Wait till you hear what number 4 is, and we'll leave number 4 to the end. We're going to think about and discover how these techniques and tools and things we can use to help remind us how to stay in alignment or how to move through difficult times. I think sometimes there's this misfeeling that if you are in spiritual practice, in thought, unity, science of mind, spiritual living, that we ignore what's going on and just look for the good, look for the good, look for the good. That is really not practical living, because there are things going on that we deal with on a regular basis. It can be grief, it can be worry, it can be fear. But if we can raise our consciousness and come at these things from a higher level, I know that helps me to have some tools, to have some techniques, to have beautiful meditations like Cheryl did, just to kind of calm and put all this stuff aside for a while. So we'll see if this is helpful for you or not. And did everyone get a pebble? If you didn't get a pebble, we're not going to talk about pebbles yet. However, I know I had a tough couple weeks because I was up at a Unity retreat right near Maggie Valley in Waynesville in North Carolina, which is right near Asheville. And still hearing a lot of reports from the very devastating floods and storm. I mean, call it a storm. So many levels that went through that area. And also, of course, Florida. Hardly call it an advantage, but at least people in Florida knew something was coming. And the Deer Mountain areas did not. So I've been dealing with this and hearing a lot of different stories about it and people counting who's safe and who hasn't been heard from. And it's really, really got me down for a couple of days. I just found myself crying. Just out of nowhere, I just start crying because I love the woods and I love the mountains and I love safety. I love the big Unity Church that's in Asheville and just had a little damage, but they don't have everyone accounted for yet. And the Unity in Augusta, Mordain Unity and Resolve, the Unity in Augusta and their whole brand new children's wing was pretty much destroyed. But then when I get in those moods, and when I'm feeling that sadness, and I'm worried about our planet, and I'm doing my recycling, and I'm doing my composting, and I'm doing everything I possibly can to not put a negative impression by myself on this earth, there's still times that I need something to pull me out of it, or to ease it, or to help me see more light in the situation. And I hope you can find ways to do that too. Meditation helps me a whole bunch. Eric Butterworth helps me. If you're not familiar with him, he was an amazing speaker, and he had a very large church in New York City. I can't remember the name of the big hall that he met in. He even would plan his services a little later on Sundays, so people could go to their churches and then come in and hear him. And he always spoke about truth and thought and how to elevate ourselves, just like that beautiful article Gloria read. Take your pebble, if you would. Now, the minute I get a pebble or a stone of any kind, I just start wanting to feel its energy, getting it warmed up, kind of making me want to go into meditation. That's not the purpose of this pebble today. This is what Eric Butterworth said. Most of the things we get down about are like little pebbles. Hold a pebble close to your eyes, and it fills your whole world. So a problem, an issue, something you're worried about, get it right near your eye. It really kind of fills up on, I can see around it, but it's very close to my eye. And I can feel the energy of it, maybe not so good if it's something I'm pebbling about. He says next, hold it at a proper viewing distance, and it can be examined and properly dealt with. So if that first step is a worry or a concern or a fear or something that you just caught up in, it's kind of hard to do anything else when it's that close to us, right? If we can take a few steps back or spend some time in meditation or use our spiritual techniques to hold it out a bit and to get maybe a different view of it, or to see the many good things all around it that we might not be seeing when it's right up close. When we do that, we can, as he said, examine it and deal with it properly. But then he said this, he closed this little lesson with this. Drop the pebble at your feet, and it becomes part of the gravel of the path on which you walk. Yeah. Picture your path. You drop that pebble at your feet. Doesn't mean I have to ignore it, right? Doesn't mean I have to forget it. Doesn't mean that I can't pick it back up. I could hold it close to my face again, think about it in depth again, drop some tears again, and hold it at a distance. In the case of these storms, look at it, figure out where I can help, where I can donate, how I can pray, how I can bless our world, how I can do more things to create a healthier planet. If it's something that happened in my life, or a worry, or a fear, or an illness, I can hold it out there. And I can put it on, it's part of the gravel of life. See that? Part of the gravel. And sometimes if I'm barefooted, I might be feeling those little pokes from the different pebbles, not all shiny and smooth like the one I've been meditating with. But just a good reminder the next time something comes up. Use the pebble idea. So that's one thing we can do. Maybe way more than 3 here, because I was reminded when I was thinking about this topic of years ago. My daughter is grown, she's in her 40s, but at the time, we were living in Wisconsin, and we went to Chicago to go shopping at the Great Mile. Magnificent Mile, that's the name of it. It was a big annual treat for us to go and even look in the stores and dream about what we'd like to buy. And she was maybe in her 20s. We stopped and we got a coffee together, and I wanted to go look at these such and such stores, and she wanted to look at those such and such stores. I said, that's great, we'll meet back here in whatever time it was, maybe an hour or something. And we were so happy, it was just such a happy day. And as I went to look at the stores I was looking at, I got a call from a family member that was going through something very intense and difficult and worrisome about another extended family member. And it could just feel all that happy stuff leaving. And I did my little window shopping, came back to meet her for coffee. She looked at me and she said, Mom, what happened to you? And I explained, isn't that how worried I was? She said something I'll never forget. Mom, don't take on others' grief. It's okay to grieve, it's okay to worry, it's okay to be sad, but don't take on the grief. You'll end up taking on the grief of the world. And how can you help? How can you love? How can you spread joy if you're absorbed in that grief? And that's what I reminded myself of this week. Okay to be aware of things coming in, okay to be aware of the worries of the world, but I can't take on all that grief and function, because I'll just be sitting in the corner crying. Whether it's something in the world or something in the family or something in my own life. Because, joy, joy and light and love and knowing we are on this earth walk, or run or swim or however you see it, to spread joy and to be joy and to find the good and to uplift ourselves and hopefully to uplift others just by being that light. Look around you, if you will, at all the light in this room, all the different individual lights. And if you're watching at home, thank you, and put up a little heart, but see the light in yourself. And next time you pass by a mirror, take that extra few minutes and see that spiritual light that is you and within you. Because it shines out. Even if you're worried, even if you're not feeling joyful, even if there's not a smile on your face, that light in you, that spiritual center shines out. And it makes a difference. It truly, truly makes a difference. Ernest Holmes is the founder of Centers for Spiritual Living and wrote the book Science of Mind, which is more than an afternoon read, but it's highly suggested, and many, many shorter books. He said this: we have within us a power that is greater than anything we shall ever contact in the outer. A power that can overcome every obstacle in our life, and set us safe, satisfied, and at peace. Healed and prosperous, like Eric would say, in a new light, Our thoughts are so important. Our thoughts help create our reality. It's one of the basic premises of new thought. Have a new thought. A speaker friend of mine always used to say that. Well, we're new thoughts, so okay, let's have a new thought. And with this, let's have a thought. Ernest said this too: all the power of the universe is with you. Feel it, know it. All the power of the universe is within you. feel it, know it, and then act as though it were true. Because we forget. We forget. How do we use that thought? We talked this last meeting or the one before about our ability to look at the end results of what we want, like the end of the balance beam. When the gymnasts are walking on it, all the commentators said they're told to keep their eyes on the end of the balance beam so they don't fall off. And we teach in New Thought to keep our eyes on what we want versus on not on what we don't want. Myrtle Fillmore, who's one of the founders of Unity, said this. I found this and it was like, oh, I can picture her doing that. She liked to write notes and letters and things. She said, at a time in her life, she wrote little notes of praise and thanks for her needs being met before that supply was visible. And the good increased, she said. And I set my heart not on the increase, but more lovingly on the giver, the divine, the one spirit. And the increase continues. So she wrote little notes to herself, thanking the universe for results delivered before they might ever show up. Isn't this what we do with New Year's? We're talking about that. White stones, what we want, what we'd like to see, but then give thanks for it. And if every day it's still not there, it's okay. Give thanks that it's there. Because we might not even know. I know I don't usually know when my good is already being created. I'm kind of waiting for the end thing, the physical thing, the manifestation. Because when the manifestation shows up, I'm all excited. Oh my God, how that happened. I made it happen, kind of, sort of. The spirit was there. Thank you, spirit. Oh, yeah. But sometimes we forget. So consider that. Write little notes to yourself. Thanking for needs or wishes or desires or circumstances already met. If you like Ernest Holmes, or if you've never heard of Ernest Holmes, or you'd like to hear more of Ernest Holmes, guess what? Even though he passed a long time ago, that was him. 3 times, and yeah, I was ring 3 times. Ernest says, I'm just promoting you. Ernest is on YouTube. Of course he is, in his own voice, because they did radio recordings way back then. And I got caught up in it, and I probably could have listened to it for a couple hours. But I want to read you part of this one. The title was How to Use Your Secret Power. And I thought, oh, there's got to be like a book or something I can just, grab it, download it, and print it out, or a section on the internet. But I didn't find that. All I could find was him saying the words. Your secret power. So what is your secret power? We might all have different secret powers, but he was talking about one secret power. And he mentions Jesus. Science mind, Jesus is a way shower. Same thing with Unity, as a master teacher, as someone we learn from. He said this: we do not know how Jesus acquired his wonderful faith, but he must have had moments of doubt and misgiving, just as we all do. It doesn't sound at all like Ernest. He must have experienced uncertainty, just as you and I. But unlike most of us, he triumphed. He walked over the waters of doubt. And doubt? Have you had doubt in your life? Fear? I feel like a water. I haven't had waters lately. But unlike most of us, he triumphed. He walked over the waters of doubt, the waves of confusion, and the tempests of fear. He said, in effect, if you wish to do what I'm doing, follow the few simple truths I have given you. I've told you that the kingdom of God, of the living spirit, is at hand. You do not see it because your eyes are so filled with tears that you cannot see. Or are they filled with pebbles? Your ears are so dulled with confusion that you cannot hear. We've got pebbles in our ears. Don't put the pebble in here. Your minds are so weighed and so dull. Your minds are so weighed down with doubt that you cannot understand. What was his remedy for all of this? To open our spiritual eyes, to listen with the inner ear, to open our minds. What is that we are to open our eyes, our ears, and our minds to? What is it that we must see, hear, understand? It's this. Life flows into everything through everything. It passes into every human event and translates itself through every human act. Life. If you learn to think of life as flowing through your every action, you will soon discover that the things you give your attention to are quickened with new energy, where you are breathing the very essence of being into them. You teach that our thoughts help create a reality, however lovely you want that. Create our reality, help create our reality, help us see we are creating our reality. And it's that level of truth that we are using with our minds. I forget this all the time. I'll read about it and speak about it, and I still forget to watch my thoughts. And it's okay, because I don't want to be beaten up on myself. But these things, these tools bring us back to remember and to get us through those moments when we're taken on grief, worrying, feeling like we're never going to get out of the situation that we might be in, worried about our health, worried about someone else. Our thoughts are powerful. He says you can think yourself into being unhappy and depressed, or you can think yourself into being glad. Did it ever occur to you that you can also think yourself into being well, into being prosperous? Eric Butterworth, that you can think yourself into success? Well, you can if you believe in the law of life and use it rightly. But you must learn to use it affirmatively. You must learn to identify yourself with your desires, with what you want. And again, if you listen to this on YouTube, in his voice, in the power of his belief system coming through his word, he taught this. He taught it so well that he could write a book that was that big about it, and so many others, and create a system of philosophy, theology, metaphysics, and mindfulness that lasted all these decades. One more tool we can use is to really throw ourselves into creative living. And what does that look like for you? It'll look different, I think, for each and every one of us. To really consciously make a decision, whether it's when we get up in the morning or different times during the day, I'm going to change my consciousness. We can do that. We can change how we look at things. Wayne Dyer is quoted often as saying, when we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. It's been actually said by a number of people before him that Wayne made it popular. He changed the way we look at things. The things we look at change. Will it change for everyone? I don't think so. Will it necessarily change for the person, like the family member I was so worried about that day in Chicago? I don't know. Things did get better. Did it change how I felt about myself and that day and this very precious time with my daughter that I still remember all these several decades later? Yeah. Yes. Because other things work out. I think our responsibility in this lifetime, we are given these lives. We're given this world we live in. Are given this connection we have to so many. Is to do it consciously, even for a little bit of the time. To take those things that just seem to fill up our vision, maybe pray them out to a distance where we can look at them more objectively, or from a point of view of what can I do to help? Or we can imagine them out to a point of, okay, this could get better. We can imagine helpers appearing in big things like what has been going on in the last week and a half with the storms. Picture helpers flowing in, helping. Helicopters arriving. Things getting better. People hugging people. Even the disparity and divisiveness that has been going on for the last months with an election coming up. When we get in the storms of life, we're all siblings, brothers, sisters, siblings, family, right? That's what brings us together. That's what calms down all that outward discord. And that is one lesson I get from this. People hugging people. People helping people, not asking what color they're going to vote for. So, all that said, and probably a whole lot more that I wasn't planning on, think about this in the days ahead. How might I change my thinking? What could I read or listen to on YouTube? How might I pray for helpers? Isn't that what Mr. Rogers said when he was a little kid and he couldn't deal with the news and the scary things in the world? And his mother sat down with him and said, look for the helpers. Focus on the helpers. She might have added, be a helper. So I hope those tools are helpful for you. There's another tool that I go to. Cynthia. It's another tool that I go to. And I did this last night. I wasn't sleeping well. And I was like, okay, I'm going to turn on some music. Do you know the power of spiritual music? When I want to calm the pebbles in my eyes, and things going on in the world, or my own feelings of lack and limitation in myself, I turn to music. I think that is one of our topmost tools that we can absorb, share, sing in our hearts, appreciate, and Cynthia is going to It was a beautiful song now. By the way, she put a new album, if you don't know that. They're available over there, and it's amazing, and I've already played it about 4 times in my car. So you can, no, because I sing along and I give it a little extra vibe, so. Yes, let's give her a big round of applause. And yourselves, okay? Because what are you? You are a brilliant spiritual light. And before she begins, just turn to someone and say, I see the light in you. Do it at home. See the light. See the light in you. See the light in you. See the light in you. And so it is. And it is. Isn't that a nice way to end something? Or do you get it? And so it is. And so it is.
Oh, now. Oh, yeah, I'm on. Let's hear it for RevBronte. She always has such thoughtful, insightful, inspiring messages. This song is called And So It Is, and it's about reality creation. There we go. What is unfolding in your future? Life's an empty canvas, and you're the artist of your life. What your mind can conceive, and what your heart can believe you can achieve. You can manifest your dreams, and so it is. Light a candle, say a prayer, tell your dreams to the universe out there. Meditate, visualize, believe. Open your heart and be willing to receive. And you can change reality in accordance to your will and imagination. You create your life, and so it is. Close your eyes to see the future your soul led you to dream of. You create your life, and so it is. You create your life, and so it is. And so it is. And so it is. So it is. So look around your life and see you are the master of your own destiny. You handle that sorrow and pain, but you can consciously find your joy again. It's a co-creation, and so it is. Light a candle, say a prayer, tell your dreams to the universe out there. Meditate, visualize, believe. see, and you can change your reality in accordance to your will and imagination. You create your life, and so it is. Close your eyes to see the future your soul able to dream of. You create your life, and so it is. You create your life, and so it is. And so it is. And so it is. And so it is. Thank you.
Thank you, Cynthia.
You are welcome.
And Councilor Fairburn. It's now time.
Microphone.
I did, my grandkids don't think I have an issue with volume. Yeah. It's now time for our conscious giving to our community. Money is a spiritual activity. Spiritual giving is an opportunity to express our gratitude and open our consciousness to receive greater abundance. It is the practice of participating in the circulation of universal good. We have 3 ways to give here at CSL West Georgia. You can put cash or a check in the envelope found in your bulletin. You can donate online by accessing your personal Breeze account using the Breeze mobile app on your device or your phone. You can also donate electronically with your phone by using the information found on the back of your bulletin. This information is also being placed in the chat window for our online viewers. If you donate online, either by using your phone or Breeze account, please put an online giving card in the collection plate to acknowledge your contributions. If you did not get one at the door, the usher will be glad to hand you one. Now is one consciousness for prosperity. Let us say together, freely I give with a feeling of abundance, knowing that my gift blesses others and myself as well.
Freely I give, freely I give, from my heart and my soul. Freely I give, freely I give, and the gifts come back to me. Lovingly I give, lovingly I give from my heart, from my soul. Lovingly I give, lovingly I give, and the gifts come back to me.
And together we say, I am grateful for the divine giftedness circulating abundantly through my life, our community, and our world.
So it is.
Announcement. Our guest speaker next Sunday will be on the October 13th, will be Dr. Colbert CSL Book Club Midweek Refresher. Every Thursday evening at 7:30, we meet here at the center to study a book that we have chosen to support our spiritual growth. We currently are reading Your Mind Can Heal You by Frederick Vales. We have a fan in the audience. Everyone is welcome to attend. Affirmative prayer treatment. If anyone is in need of prayer support, we have prayer cards over on the table next to the door. If you fill one out and place it in a white box, they will be collected at the end of service, and a treatment will be done for you during the week. If we have any visitors, will you raise your hand and please, so that you may be acknowledged, and the usher will bring you a welcome packet.
You raised it real quick. Well,
Welcome. Travis.
Travis. Welcome, Travis. We hope you'll come back and be with us again.
He's not a visitor.
Not in your.
No.
Yes, he's been here
Well, he
before.
raised his hand.
No.
He's visiting today.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, social media. We are on several social media platforms. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. If there are no other announcements,
I have one.
okay.
It's Tanya's birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Talia. Happy birthday to you. And many more.
Okay, let us stand and say our closing affirmation. We go forth today knowing that we are God's blessing in the world. Only good comes from us, only good comes to us, and so it is.
And now we like to form a circle. I'd like to thank Ken and Marcia and Dorothea over there, so I didn't know if you'd like to come before. Thank you. Let's hear it for them. Be careful though, Ken will steal your phone. You have to watch it. There's a lot of turmoil in the world, so let's bless the world with this peace song, okay? Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. His Spirit has come and united all of you. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me. Yes, this is the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my son of God.